So we got the 2015 Chrysler 200S with the V6 VVT. We doing a radiator replacement. In order to do this, you gotta take this whole entire bumper off with a bumper cover, headlights, and this top piece. First, we want to start by taking out these pop screws all the way across the top. We're gonna use this after you get them off. You know what I'm saying? All right, so we got this cover off. Now we going for 15 10mm bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Knock them all out. Top of this bumper cover will be loose. You want to get to the bottom of it. Alright, so when you go to take these bumper cover bolts off, pay attention to the size of them. This one long, I don't show it. Now this one, in particular, has a bracket under it. Pay attention to that. If you pull it out and it drop, make sure you put it back where it goes. That's a medium bone. You got a short one. You got a short one. You got another one inside of a bracket, and that bracket fell down. So make sure you get that bracket back where it needs to be before you put that bolt back in. You got a long one. You got a short one. Then you want to come on both sides of the tire. You got 3 8mm bolts. 1, 2, 3. After you take those 3 off, those out. You'll be able to get this out the way, so you can get this last one here, which is T30, and it's at an angle, so the angle going down, like, move this out the way, so the angle like that. So you get that one out. After you get that one out, then you'll get back to you on how to pop this bumper off. Alright, so after you get that last one out right there, take that screwdriver, set it in between there right there, and separate it a little bit. It's a hard angle to show y'all, but get up in there, separate it just a little bit. I might need 2 hands to do this, but you're gonna hear a click. You don't want to hear a pop. It's gonna be this one disconnecting, and then after that you'll just be able to grab it, pull it out, and it should pop out. Just do the other side like that. But try to show you. You want to go from the inside so you don't mess up the paint job. Okay, then after you get those out, so you'll stick the screwdriver in between the gap there, and then pull it out on here. And you'll come all the way around, come around to the front, grab around, like right around here, like that, pull straight out on it. And this side will come out. You got your electrical wires and whatnot, so don't let those get too stressed out. And then come on the other side, same with the cubby hole, grab it, pull it, and your bumper is off. And go to your electrical connectors, all of them over here. So set that down, try not to scratch it up too much. And they all connected right here. Boop. Right there. So you push that red tab down, and then there's a button on it. You'll push that button in and disconnect it. Okay. Okay, so in order to disassemble this, the electrical component from the bumper, you'll push this red tab down while it's connected, and then it's a button on the side of here. You'll push that in while you pull down on the connectors. This is the other connector. And that's how you disconnect the electrical components from the bumper from the car. Alright, so in order to get this driver's side headlight out, you'll have a 10mm bolt right here. Right on top of that, it's a little notch that sits inside of this bumper. Just the piece of plastic that holds your bumper to your fender. This also holds your headlight in. So you want to get that up off of there. And you get some wiggle room, and then you'll come around to the inside, right behind here. Right there is an 8mm bolt. That's the last one holding your headlight. So you get that one out, and then your headlight will come out, and you just take the bulbs out or disconnect the electrical parts of them. Okay, there's one more thing holding in this headlight besides the 10mm bolt right there, and little nipple sticking out, and then the 8mm right there. You got 10mm here, 10mm there, 10mm there, 10mm there, 10mm there. Then you can remove this bracket to get to a simple push tab that is holding this headlight. So you want to just get that line out of there like that. Get this bracket off. Set it off to the side. Then you got this one. One of this tab right here. And you know what to do with that. Use this to get it off. You just scoop up under the first one, and then lift up on it and get the second one. Easy peasy. And you're gonna have the same thing going on over here with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That bottom one, you don't have to take it all the way out. You just loosen it, and this bracket will lift up over it. And then 2 of these bolts gonna hold this in. A couple of those bolts are. Alright, so in order to disconnect the headlights, you'll push this tab back. A little red tab, push it back. And you push down on this black part right here. And pull back on it. I have to do some wiggling. You gotta do some wiggling to get that off. In order to disconnect the headlight, you want to push this tab back and push down on this black part right there. And just give it a little wiggle and it'll come off. Okay, let it be off. On out with it, set it off to the side. So for the passenger headlight, you get a 10mm bolt right there. And you got that little tab that likes to stick up. Where is it? Boom, that little tab that likes to stick up. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the 5th bolt right there holding that bracket on. That looks like that. And then your 8mm bolt will be straight down right there. And then you know your connector with push that red tab out, push the black tab down, and then wiggle it off. And then this headlight will be free. Alright, so now it's time to get the bumper off. So you got an aluminum bumper. It's held on by 15mm. So this is going to be the hard side, but it's going to be simplified. It's just taking this off. But you got 2 up top, and then a 10mm right there. And then at the bottom, you got 2. Then you should have another 10mm around there somewhere. Well, somebody worked on it, so they took it off and put a little heck weld right there. Hopefully it's not a problem. And we got 2 over here, 15s and a 10. And then at the bottom, we got 2 10s, and then the 2 15s and then 1 10. 2 15s, 1 10. And then this aluminum bumper will come off. Okay, and now it's time for the radiator core support. We're already taking out the bolts for the top of it. So now you gotta go down to the bottom of it. You got 2 10s right there. You got 2 10s right there. You also have this electrical connector for your horns going all the way across it. You got a tab right there, tab. It's another one there, it's another there, it's another there, one there, one there, one there, and one there, and another there. You take all of those off and you set this cord and your horns off to the side. You know what I'm saying? And then your cord support will come off. You might have to disconnect these as well. And just set it all off to the side. And you'll be able to see your condenser, your radiator. Okay, so also for this radiator support part, you gotta disconnect. Just lift up on there, lift up on that one. You might have to disconnect this one for sure. So this tab, this little ball, you just pull that back like that. You push that back and finesse that ball out of that slot. Yeah, push it back and finesse that ball out of that slot like that. It's like a bike, just like bike brakes or whatever. It's hard to do it with one hand, so I'll just, let's just show you how to do it. And then this one right here, it'll slide through this hole if you squeeze these 2 tabs on the side. So you'll squeeze both tabs, and then this will push back through this hole, and then you can just disconnect that. This will stay on top of this, and then you just move it out the way. And then over here, you got these tabs right here. You use this tool to get those off. Just stick it up in there like that. Push on it. Whoop, pop out. You got another one down here at the bottom. Pop it out. And you use over there. I'm saying you got that on the same. Got that over here too. There's 2 of them. Boom, boom. And then this piece of plastic will come off. See? Right on up. I gotta disconnect that first. Okay, so these flaps, they're gonna be pushed up in there like that. You gotta slide them to the side and then pull them out. Slide it to the side, pull it out. And then you'll be able to get to the radiator bolts. So you can see your radiator here, right? Yeah. You got a bolt here, you got a bolt there, and a bolt there. There's 3 on each side. 1, 2, 3. That one was already taken out. Okay, so take those 3 out. Then your condenser will be loose. You want to set it off to the side, and then you'll have access to the front side of the radiator. And you still got to get these hose clamps off. You got a hose clamp here, and you got a hose clamp down there. And then here's your radiator mount brackets. If you want to go ahead and just disconnect those 3 10mm bolts on both sides, then your radiator will be able to lean backwards, and you'll have more access to the fan and the front of the radiator in order to get those hoses. Okay, so the easiest way to get this radiator to lean back is going to be 2, 1, 2, 2 over here, 1, 2. That's it, 1, 2. Size T25 hex. Come tune like so. So put this little tab right here. If y'all can see it in the light. Just a tab right here. You can grab it and just pull it out. Like that. So then you can go your cushion. So now we can just move forward. How about for you to access these hoses in the back? In order to get this fan out the way, to get the hoses, you got 2 10mm bolts. One right there. And one right it's right there. Okay, you strip those bolts, go in with a Phillips. It's gonna be a lot harder. disconnect that electrical connector right there. Get that fan out. It's just a push tab. Push that tab in. It's a black tab on the top of it. Push that tab in and disconnect. Pull that fan off the top this way. You're gonna have to lean it in order to get it. Push those brackets out the way. Push them back. You'll be able to slide that fan out of there. Okay, so at this point, I got my fan loose, but this hose is getting in the way of getting it out. So in order to get this clamp off, see the gap in the back? You gotta use that space, the space for the gap in the back, to get that lip over that hump. So you can do it one of two ways. Either grab it with a plier and smash it, or you can try to stick a screwdriver in between that little gap right there, or a little pick or something, and try to finesse it over that lip. You also have this little bitty tab right there in the middle that's going to stop you from doing so. So when you take these off, make sure you have a replacement hose clamp. I'm going to use the traditional Phillips screwdriver one to replace this one because you cannot reuse those. Okay, so I was able to take this pick and stick it in between that gap right there, and wedge it like that and wiggle it. You get that clamp loose. Now I just gotta push it off of this tube right here. When you go to put this on, make sure that this groove fits into that lip. It was not when I got here, but it's gonna be when I leave. And I suspected that that was the reason that it was leaking, but it's not. Let's see, the leak started down here somewhere. Probably right about there, because it's bone dry up top. So that's an insider. Okay, so we got our fan out. There was an electrical connector there. Had to pop it off. Then lean this bad mamma jamma forward in order to slide it up out of there. There was also a thing on the side of it holding up to that hose. So what I did was slide it over into this gap right here in order to get it out. Now we're going for this bottom hose. It's got like a retainer ring on it. So you want to go in with like a pick like this and lift this ring. Get that ring up out of there. Okay. You get that ring all the way up. You should be able to just twist it and wiggle it off. So I got the radiator out. So for the bottom hose, you pull that tab up, and you just rock it off. Okay. Then these hoses over here are gonna get in the way, which is why this gap is over here. And you just use this gap to slide it out and out, but you don't slide all the way out this way. You just slide it over a little bit and then wiggle it out the top. And that's it. So we got the radiator out. Had to take a lot of stuff off. Other stuff, both headlights, radiator support, core support, the bumper and the bumper cover, headlight mounts, fan, condenser can stay on for once. So this is all problem, I believe. I didn't do that. It was melting away. And if this plastic looks like this, I can assume that the rest of it looks like this going down the way on the inside. So it gave out, began to leak. So I believe this was the problem. It's like it was melting away. I don't know. That's how it was when I took it out. Looks disgusting. Didn't touch anything. So off the old radiator, you want to get these rubber bushings on both sides and slide off. Then on the bottom, you have this slides into the slot for the bottom. In order to get these off, it's a little tab right there. You lift that tab up and push this that way. It's two of them, so you got to do it twice. It's one in the front, one in the back, and it's one over there too. Get those off, slap them on the bottom of your new radiator so that it can slide into the support at the bottom. So in order to get this off, it's a tab right there. You want to push in like that, boom. And then these two tabs at the bottom on the pry back. And then you should be able to move it off this way. Slide out that, slide out that. To the other side. Do the same thing. Push that tab down like that. Push it up in the back. And just walk it out. It's right on time. We just got the bumper to go.